Assalamualaikum everyone. We are from Group 6 and are here to present on the subject MGT651 of Research Methodology. Our presentation for today is regarding the research on student satisfaction with shuttle bus services at UiTM. We are introducing the 5 students who are responsible behind this research. We have SYAKIRAH, IZZATI, AMEERA ASYA, Muhammad RIZAL, and finally NURUL.
First, the background of this study focused on the importance of transportation in supporting student mobility and academic participation at university campus. At UiTM Puncak, Perdana, the campus layout is large and hilly with limited parking facilities, making shuttle bus service a vital mode of transportation for students to travel between hostel, lecture hall, and administrative buildings. This shuttle bus service also support UiTM sustainability initiative under the UiTM Green Center by reducing the use of private vehicle, traffic congestion, and environmental impact. This effort align with Sustainable Development Goal 11, which promote the sustainable and accessible transportation system. Therefore, student satisfaction is an important indicator for evaluating the effectiveness of the shuttle bus service. By assessing satisfaction level, the university can determine how well the system meets student needs. In particular, timeliness, reliability, and empathy are key factors influencing satisfaction. Punctual service, dependable schedule, and empathic service delivery are essential to ensure a student-centered and sustainable shuttle bus service at UiTM Puncak, Perdana.
Next, we move on to the key problem that affects student satisfaction with the shuttle bus service. Firstly, reliability is a major issue faced by students. The shuttle bus service often operate inconsistently with irregular schedule and occasional service disruption. As a result, students find it difficult to depend on the shuttle bus as a reliable mode of transportation. When the buses do not arrive as expected, students are forced to wait longer or seek alternative transport, which disrupt their daily routine and affect their punctuality for classes. Secondly, timeliness is another critical problem. Many students experience long waiting time, particularly during a peak hour, such as early mornings and a class change periods. Delays and late arrival cause students to reach their destination behind schedule, increasing stress and frustration. Since the students usually follow tight academic timetable, poor timeliness directly impact their ability to attend lecture, tutorial, and campus activity on time. Lastly, empathy among the shuttle bus staff remain an address issue. There is a limited emphasis on the driver politeness, clear communication, and attentiveness towards students, especially during the delays or unexpected service disruption. When drivers do not provide explanation or sure understanding of student situation, it negatively affects student comfort and perception of the service. Although empathy is recognized as an important service quality factor in previous study, it has not been sufficiently examined in the context of UiTM Puncak Perdana. In conclusion, problems related to reliability, timeliness, and empathy collectively reduce student satisfaction with the shuttle bus service.
For our research objectives, our first objective is to determine how empathy could influence the student satisfaction with the shuttle bus services at UiTM Puncak Perdana. The second objective is to analyze the effect of reliability on student satisfaction with the shuttle bus services. This question, we are asking the question of whether empathy influences the student satisfaction with the shuttle bus services, and we are also questioning the ways that reliability could influence the student satisfaction with the shuttle bus services at UiTM Puncak Perdana.
Now, this slide will explain about the scope of our studies. So our studies was conducted at UiTM Puncak Perdana, focusing specifically on students who uses the campus shuttle bus service. This study uses a quantitative research approach with a cross-sectional design, which means that data was collected at one point in a time to capture students' current perception and satisfaction levels. Our key variables include 3 independent variables, which are empathy, reliability, and timeliness, and 1 dependent variable, which are student satisfaction levels. These variables were selected based on previous study that identified them as an important service quality dimension in campus transportation. For sampling, convenience sampling was used due to time constraint and accessibility of respondents. So the data analysis that involved is descriptive analysis, correlation analysis, and regression analysis to examine the relationship between these variables. Overall, the purpose of this study is to examine how empathy, reliability, and timeliness influence student satisfaction level with the shuttle bus service at UiTM Puncak Perdana, and to identify the most influential factor that is affecting this satisfaction level.
This study is significant because it provides a deeper understanding of student satisfaction with the shuttle bus service at UiTM Puncak Perdana, particularly by focusing on the three key service quality dimensions: reliability, timeliness, and empathy. As the campus continue to grow and student dependent on the shuttle bus service increase, improving transportation quality become increasingly important. Firstly, this study is significant to UiTM Puncak Perdana and its management. The finding will provide evidence-based insight into the strength and weakness of the current shuttle bus system. By identifying how reliability, timeliness, and empathy influence student satisfaction, university administrator, facility management, and the UiTM Green Center can make better informed decisions regarding the service improvement, resources allocation, and transport planning. The result can also support UiTM commitment to sustainable transportation in line with the Sustainable Development Goal 11, which promotes safe, efficient, and sustainable mobility. Secondly, this study is significant to the student of UiTM Puncak Perdana. Improvement in the shuttle bus reliability and timeliness will help students travel more efficiently and arrive at the classes on time, while enhanced empathy from the shuttle bus staff can create a more comfortable and supportive travel environment. Together, this improvement can reduce commuting stress, increase students' sense of safety, and positively impact their overall academic experience and quality of campus life. Lastly, this study is significant to the environment. By improving student satisfaction with the shuttle bus service, the university can encourage greater use of shared transportation and reduce reliance on private vehicles. This helps lower traffic congestion, decrease carbon emission, and support environmentally sustainable practices within the campus and surrounding areas. In summary, this study contributes not only improving campus transportation services, but also to enhancing student well-being and supporting UiTM long-term sustainability goal.
And now, let's look at the research design of this study. The purpose of this research is to identify the factors that influence student satisfaction with the shuttle bus service at UiTM Puncak Perdana, focusing on empathy, reliability, and timeliness. In this study, we are using three types of analysis, which are quantitative, correlation, and regression. In quantitative methodology, this study uses a cross-sectional design to record student-present opinions and satisfaction about the levels of the shuttle bus service with data gathered all at once. Quantitative design is approached in this research because it enables numerical measurements and statistical analysis of students' perspectives. Following this, the correlation between the independent variables with empathy, reliability, and timeliness and the dependent variable with student satisfaction are examined using correlation and regression analysis in order to meet the research objectives. Now let's look at the study setting, which is set in UiTM Puncak Perdana. The research conducted in a natural campus environment where students regularly use the shuttle bus service for daily commute. Furthermore, there are no changes made to the environment to ensure the responses reflect real student experiences. Following this, the unit of analysis in this study is the individual student, specifically UiTM Puncak Perdana student who used the shuttle bus service. For the time horizon, this study uses a cross-sectional approach, which means that the data were collected at a single point in time. The purpose of using cross-sectional design is to capture student current perceptions, and satisfaction with shuttle bus service at UiTM Puncak Perdana. This approach is suitable because it allows researchers to efficiently analyze the relationship between empathy, reliability, timeliness, and student satisfaction based on students' present experiences with the shuttle bus. Now let's focus on sampling. Firstly, the population includes all students enrolled at UiTM Puncak Perdana who use the campus shuttle bus. The total student population is about 4,694 students. Second,
Based on the criteria MOHD table, a sample size of 354 respondents is considered suitable to represent this population and ensure reliable results. Lastly, for the sampling technique, the study uses non-probability convenience sampling. Respondents were selected based on their availability and willingness to participate, and the questionnaire was distributed online using platforms such as Google Forms. Despite certain drawbacks with this approach is suitable in light of time, limits, and accessibility, and it offers valuable input from current shuttle bus
This
users.
slide will explain what the data collection method used in these studies. So both of the primary and secondary data is collected to ensure that the research is comprehensive and well supported. The primary data was collected from UiTM Puncak Perdana students through an online questionnaire. These students are the direct users of the shuttle bus service, so their response reflect the real experience, perception, and the current satisfaction levels. The secondary data was sourced from a journal article, previous studies, and academic publication. This data is important because it supports the problem statement, helps justify the selection of variables, and strengthen the research framework. So by using the secondary data, these studies is grounded in existing literatures and avoids relying solely on assumption, while the primary data uses to provide real-time insight from an actual bus users. Now, this next slide will focus on the distribution and design of the questionnaire. The questionnaire was distributed using a Google form and shared through WhatsApp and Telegram. This method was chosen because it is the most cost-effective, time-efficient, and easily accessible to students. The questionnaire consists of a closed-ended question measured using a 5-point Likert scale, which allows clear measurement and statistical analysis of response. In terms of focus, the questionnaire is divided into four main sections. The first sections measure empathy, which include driver's courtesy, communication, and helpfulness. The second section focuses on reliability, such as service consistency, safety, and dependability. The third section measures timeliness, including waiting time, punctuality, and schedule adherence. And the final section evaluates the overall student satisfaction with the shuttle bus service. These structures allows us to systematically examine how each service quality factor influence student satisfaction level.
Next, this section explains the plan for data analysis used in this study. First, all survey responses were checked for completeness and accuracy. Only valid data were coded and analyzed using IBM SPSS version 30 and Google Sheet. Both descriptive and inferential statistical methods were applied. This study adopts a quantitative approach which involves collecting numerical data through structured, closed-ended questionnaires. This method is suitable for analyzing relationship between variables and understanding students' perception of the UiTM Puncak Perdana shuttle bus service. Next, descriptive analysis was conducted to summarize respondents' demographic information and their perception of empathy, reliability, timeliness, and overall satisfaction. Frequencies, percentage, means, and standard deviation were used to describe response pattern and data distribution. Then, correlation analysis examined the strength and direction of relationship between empathy, reliability, timeliness, and student satisfaction. Simple regression was also used to address the research objective 1 to 3. Finally, multiple regression analysis was conducted to determine which factor most strongly influenced student satisfaction, addressing research objective 4. That's all from us. Thank you.